Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick plus one if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we would start right away. So today we would be solving the problem allocate minimum number of pages, and this problem is yesterday's problem of the day question. And before starting, let me tell you a bit. Okay, so there we have increased the price. Okay, and when you solve a problem from problem of the day, you get 1 geek bit, and when you do that continuously for 8 days, you get additional 8 gig bit. Okay, good afternoon sir, good afternoon OARV. Okay, and when you have collected a minimum of 50 gig bit, you are eligible for redeeming prices. Now what are the prices? The prices are GFG merchandise, discount on GFG courses, Amazon vouchers, annual GFG premium subscription. Okay, now let us move to the question. And this question was a hard level question with the accuracy of around 49% and submission of 27,346, and the points were 8, and this question came in Google, Infosys and 3 other companies, and this is a divide and conquer. Okay, so we would start right away what the question. So what the question is asking is, you are given n number of books. Okay, this is number of books is 4, so you are given n number of books, and in each book AI is the number of pages. These are all the number of pages in each book. Like 12 is the number of pages on first book, 34 is the number of pages on second book, 67 is the number of pages on third book, and 90 is the number of pages on fourth book. Okay, and now there are m students. Okay, and suppose you have 4 books, and now you need to divide all the books in 2 students. Okay, given m students. Okay, now the thing is that it is asking is, we would be distributing the books. The task is to distribute books to m students. Okay, and then the next thing. Okay, the next thing is that after the distribution, suppose student 1 got 100, student 2 got 150 pages, and student 3 got 300 pages. Good to go. Now student 1 got 100 pages means it has got suppose two books of 50 pages. Okay, and suppose it has got 2 books of 75 pages, it has got 1 book of 300 pages. Okay, so first we would calculate the number of pages each student would get. After that we would tell what is the maximum number of pages a student has got. Okay, now the next thing is that we need to minimize that maximum. Okay, we need to minimize that maximum. Okay, now if I am tell me if I am clear or not. Okay, now did you understand the question or not? How to solve this is a different aspect. Okay, just for now tell me if this is well understood or not. Okay, till then I am reading the comments. Sir, I'm reading. What is this? Okay, so the thing is that in Geeks for Geeks, if you go to problem of the day, each day you are given a problem. Okay, each day you are given a problem, and if you are able to solve that problem, you would get a coin, and as I told, that coin would be, you using that coin you would be able to redeem prices. And next thing which is important is it is absolutely free. And suppose this is yesterday's question, and yesterday you were not able to solve this question. So what to do? How can you improve? So thing is that what you would do is you would come the next day and come to this channel, and you would get the live video editorial of that problem. Okay, so Saurabh understood the question. So now it is telling that we need to divide the books. Okay, so the first one. Okay, so now the first one. Now it is telling that divide it in two students. Okay, so we would partition this all in two students. Okay, so first we would partition at this point. So first one student would get 12 pages, and the next student would get 34 plus 67 plus 90 pages. Okay, now the next thing. Okay, suppose the next way is to divide at this position. Okay, let me remove this so that it won't create confusion. So now the first student would get 12 plus 34, and this student would get 17 plus 90 itself. Okay, this is how you can make the permutations and combinations, all the well permutation, and you need to report the maximum pages a student has got, and in all that permutation you need to click the minimum permutation. What I'm telling is, देखो हमें स्टूडेंट्स में वो चीज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है. ठीक है, हमें एक बहुत सारे लड्डू दिए गए हैं, हमें उस लड्डू को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है. ठीक है, अब पर बच्चा, सपोज मैं हूं अमित है, सौरभ है. ओके, नाउ द थिंग इज दैट suppose Amit got 10, I got 13, and Saurabh got 15. So which is the maximum? 15. अब हमें इस तरह से डिवाइड करना है कि that maximum value is the minimum. Okay, divide जैसे भी करें, but the maximum value should be the minimum among all the distributions. Okay, this is important. Okay, now how can we solve this? Now I would take this test case and I would tell you. Okay, let me copy the text case and let me paste it. Yeah, good to go. Okay, now the thing is that if suppose I want to give every students, if I calculate that I want to give every students a page of 12 pages. Okay, 12 pages. So what I can do is 12 and this 34 is greater than 12. So I know that maximum, if I keep the maximum 12, then it would already overflow. Okay, now the thing is that I would start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and what I would do is I would try to make it the maximum. And suppose क्या करना है ना, हम बता. जैसे what I want to tell you is that while distributing, I would keep an upper bound. What my idea is, I would keep an upper bound. Okay, suppose I told that my father told, howsoever you distribute, please keep in mind that the maximum value should be 100. Okay, now I would start distributing it in that way. Okay, and if by chance after the distribution I have leftover things, then I know that making the maximum 100 won't utilize all the products. Okay, so I want to take a value which would be the maximum should be minimum and all things would be utilized. Okay, what my logic is, I would fix the maximum point. Okay, fix the maximum point. Then this question becomes easy. If I fix the maximum point, then this question would be easy. Suppose if I am told, let's see the question other way around. Okay, suppose if I am told that the maximum value should be 113, then what I can do is I can take 12, I can take 34. Okay, and then I would be distributing 90, and which would fit with 90. I know that 12 would fit with 90. Okay, and now what I would do is 34 and 67 and then 90 plus 12. Okay, 34 plus 67. Okay, 101, 90 plus 12, 102. Okay. No, this won't be divided like this. Okay, I think I need to check all the permutation. Okay, so I would check how this question is being divided. Okay, just a sec. 12 plus 34, 46 plus 67, 13, 6 plus 4, 11. Yeah. So this one and this one. Okay. Now what is the thing is that the first person is given these all and the second person is given this all. Okay, that's the case. So if I have been given the upper bound, then it can be easily calculated that it is achievable or not. Okay, good to go. Okay, sir, ghar jao, Dipesh pilot. Okay, actually I'm in my home only. As far as I know, I'm working from home. Okay. Now the next thing is that if I have been given the upper bound, that is if I fix the maximum point. So what can be the maximum point? Okay, what can be the maximum point? The maximum point can be 1, 2. The sum of all these, that is 113 plus 90, that is 203. Okay, so the maximum value for this array can be 1 to 203. This I can do. So we would start from the bottom and we would keep till the end. Now I would check for every position. This is the case. So whenever suppose I told that suppose 8 is the answer. 8 is the answer. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now what I can do is I can start from the back itself. Okay. And if this 14 is achievable, then if this 14 is achievable, then I would check for this. Okay. Now the next thing is that if suppose 7 is achievable, okay, suppose I have been given the upper bound as 7 and it is achievable. Suppose my father gave me many laddus and he has told me that the upper bound is 100. Okay, the upper bound that you can give to a student is 100, and I know that if I distribute wisely, then the upper bound that I would be occurring is 15. So I would be pretty confident and I would be telling my father that, father, 15 is achievable. Why to talk about 100? 100 is easily achievable. So if I can achieve 15, then I can easily achieve more than that. Less than that is a difficult task, but more than that is a simple task. Okay, am I clear with this idea or not? If 5 upper bound is achievable, then more than 5 is easily achievable, and less than 5 is, we need to check. That is the main logic. Okay, now what can we do? Okay, now we know that if 8 is the answer, now I know if 8 is the answer, let's fix that 8 is the answer. So we know that 8 and after 8, all that will be can be our potential answer. This one. So it is kind of like this. No, and then yes. Okay, and now we need to find this yes, the lowest maximum. The lowest maximum. Is this idea clear? What I boiled down to the questions. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if this is clear? Then we would move forward. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat? Okay, as the view count is very less, so we would be moving on. So the thing is that this is called a monotonous function. Okay, this is called, if you don't know that, no problem. Okay, I won't be writing that also. It is not much important, but it is kind of for your knowledge. Okay, this is a monotonous function. So whenever you see a graph, whenever you see a function like this, okay, whenever you occur a function like this, that the graph is no, 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 and then yes, if the graph contains no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, then this is not. If it is like this, that no, 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 yes, 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 yes. If it is like this also, then it is also a monotonous function, that yes, 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 and then no, no, no. Okay, this is also monotonous function, but this function is not for our, okay, this function is for our question. So whenever you see a monotonous function, the first thing that you should do is try to solve using binary search. Okay, try to solve using binary search. Whenever you see a problem has a monotonous function, try to solve using binary search. Okay, now how can we use binary search? So what we can do is, we can start from 0 as the starting point, and we can fix the ending point as sum of all elements. We can do that. Okay, now suppose we would use the same thing, we would go to the mid value, check if it is no. Okay, now I would tell you the logic itself. Suppose it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now suppose this is our answer. Suppose 5 is our answer. So this is our low, this is our high itself. Okay, so what we can do is 0 plus 9 divided by 2, that is integer division would be 4.5, but integer division would make it 4. Okay, so we would come here and check for 4 itself. Okay, now what would be the value of 4 if 5 is the answer? So before that value, the answer would be no. So what we would do is, if the answer is no, then we would move on to the right hand side. If the answer is yes, we would move on to the left hand side. But here the answer is no. So we know that we need to increase our answer to make it yes. Okay, so we would now make the low. Okay, so we would now make the low to this point. Okay, we would now make the low to this point. Okay, now what would be the value of mid? Can I have a quick +1? Can I have a quick answer that what would be the value of this mid? Now 5 plus 9 divided by 2, so that is 9 plus 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7 itself. So now we would check for 7. Okay, now if we check for 7, we would get our answer yes. Okay, so we know that this can be our potential answer. So at first we would update our answer to 7. Okay, then what we would do is, we know that we need to find the first occurrence of yes. So what we would do is, we would make the high to low mid -1. So how would we do that? We would simply mark this pointer, make this pointer here itself. Okay, good to go. Now I am trying hard so that you would get a proper idea what we are doing in the binary search. Okay, now the next thing what we would do is 5 plus 6 divided by 2, which is 5 itself. Okay, and now we would check for 5. Okay, and now the answer would be the yes, so we would again update our answer to 5 itself. Okay, now we would again remove this, and then we have got our answer, so we know we need to move on this side, but now this is already closed, so our binary search would end, and then we would get our answer. Okay, am I clear with this? Can I move to the implementation now? Am I clear with this or not? Can I move to the implementation? As the view count is very less, I would be moving on to the implementation. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I would be telling you right away. Okay. Now, what we would do is, we would start with a binary search. We would make low is equals to 0 and high is equals to the upper bound. Okay. 1 if 1 10 to the power 12. Now we would initialize the answer with -1. Why? Because if it does not get updated, we would reply with -1. Now, this is the implementation which I use for binary search. You can copy this if you don't have a binary search implementation of your own, and many beginners struggle with finding a good implementation of binary search, then this is the most suitable binary search implementation according to me, because I have been using it for more than one year. Okay, and this binary search code works absolutely. This works like a charm, to be honest. Okay, so now we would low plus I divided by 2, and then we would check if that is the answer. We would update our answer and we would move on to the left hand side. Okay, how can you tell me, Anuj, where we would get the error? Can you please tell me? I want to ask, where would I get the error? Okay, can you tell me where would I get the error? I would be very much pleased if you correct me, because we are all here to learn, and it might be the case error in value of mid as it will exceed 1E12. Okay, now, now I don't do this to be honest, but just to show you, I'm doing this. Just a sec. Okay. The thing is that now there are two things why I have done that. Okay, I know that it would give me. Okay, now I would be showing you why is it done. Yeah, so the thing is, I have already declared long int as mid. Okay, I have already submitted the code as long int as mid. Okay, so that I don't get an integer overflow. But in the code where I am doing, I took the screenshot of this, where my template already considers int as long int, and this code is taken from this snippet. Okay, I have a template like this. Okay, and this is already defined, where my int would be considered as long int every time. Okay, now the next question. Okay, yeah, you can see in the code that here I have not mentioned long int. Okay, here I have not mentioned long int, but it would run. Why? Because it is in my macro. Okay, it's good that you are paying attention. Okay, thank you. Now the next question is that why have you assigned H as 1E12? Okay, now what I told in the stream is the maximum value, of everything, the upper bound. So A's value is 10 to the power 6. Okay, so and the maximum value can be 10 to the power 6 and 10 to the power 5. So 10 to the power 6 into 10 to the power 5 would be 10 to the power 11. Okay, but I try to be on the safe side. So what I did is I died with 1E12 so that I don't get a wrong answer in case. Okay, I always be on the safer side. I took one or three more. Okay, that's the case. Okay, because it won't affect the time complexity, it would affect the time complexity very negligible. Okay, now पहले जिधर था वहां पर int था. Okay, you used macro, then it would be fine. Yeah, I am using macro. I have a long page of micro. Okay, but people won't understand it. That's why I took a snippet of that so that I can explain it. Okay, so if you want a binary search implementation, then you can just copy this, because I have been using this implementation for more than a year and it works like a charm. Okay, now this is the check function where I am checking that if it can be accommodated or not. Okay, now let's talk about the check function. What I am doing is I am counting it. Okay, this sum, and if sum plus a dash I is less than x, then we would just add. If it is not less than x, what we would do is we would increase the counter, again reset the counter of sum, and then we would do that. And if any element after that also is greater than x, then we would return false. Else we would return 0. Okay, else we would return 1. If it is greater than m, we would return false. Okay, and now if sum is more than 0 at the end, suppose at the end it is not updated, then it would be increased. Okay, now time for doubts. Tell me what are the problems you faced and I would be resolving them right away. If I don't get any problem, then I would be turning off this session. Okay, can I have a quick +1 from everyone if they have understood, and if they have not understood, ask me what did you don't understand and I would be telling you. Check is the check function. Okay, I told I would be checking that if this is true or not, what this check function is doing is it is checking that if I can accommodate with that or not. What I am doing, I'm telling you, suppose I am checking that this can be accommodated or not. Okay, this is true or not, this is true or not, this is true or not, this is no, 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 and yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I am checking if at a particular position this is true or false. That's what it is doing in this. It would return me with a value. I would give it a value and it would tell me if that value would be true or not. Okay, that's the case. This is the check function. Okay, now any more queries or I am good to go? Can I have a quick +1? Then I can turn off this session. Any more queries that persist still? That still persist? Okay, I have been waiting for quite long now and I don't get any update or any queries. So that's all for today. This is me Siddharth Hazra signing off. Thank you and have a nice day.